Welcome back to Vegas Views. Dawn Sullivan and Danny Miner. I hope you guys had a fantastic week. How was your week, Danny?
My week was fantastic. I loved it. A little hot, though.
Oh, so hot.
Oh, my gosh, was it hot.
Tell me it wasn't hot.
Listen, Dawn, I know I don't want to start the show like this, but did you see my Facebook post? I almost get bit by a scorpion. Did you see that?
No, I don't mean to laugh, but tell me what happened.
Listen, I've lived in Vegas now for 7 years, right? Now, did you ever go scorpion hunting?
Danny, no.
Okay.
Is this how we're starting the show, Danny?
Yes. You get a black light, and you go through the rocks and stuff, and they glow in the dark.
Oh, this is like a thing?
Yes, for real. You can scorpion hunt.
When you find them, what do you do with them?
Nothing. You just say, hey, there they are. I make TikTok videos.
Oh, you don't try to, like, collect them or anything?
No,
right?
no.
Okay.
I just make TikTok videos.
Okay.
But yesterday, I'm doing the laundry, right? Because we're doing a little, you know me, I'm always doing little staycations. I'm playing poker tonight at South Point, so I'm a typical guy. Instead of pressing something, I throw it in the dryer.
Yeah.
Okay, to get the wrinkles out, right? I throw it in the dryer. I don't press anything. So I throw it in the dryer, and I put my hand on top of the dryer. I'm sitting there. There's a scorpion on top of my dryer.
No.
Yes. I never had one in my house ever.
Let me ask you, was it the see-through, yellowy, freaky kind?
No, it was big. It was big.
The dangerous ones.
Somebody told me it's a bark scorpion.
Oh my goodness, those are really, really dangerous. Yeah, the little yellow ones that like bite animals and stuff like that, those aren't too bad.
Yeah.
But the big ones you're talking about, that's dangerous.
Yeah, that was crazy.
What'd you do with it?
I got it out of the house. I didn't kill it. I got it on something and tossed it out. But its tail was like...
trying to get you. Oh my God. See, that would freak me out.
It was great. It was great. I loved it.
Yeah,
so look at my Facebook post. You'll see it.
I gotta check it out.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Awesome.
So that was my week.
On a serious note, I had a lot going on this week. I went to Area 15. That was really cool, guys. If you can go check out Area 15, this is not a paid advertisement. Go check it out. It was super, super fun. It was all about aliens and...
Was it?
Oh, you never went?
I never went there, no. I saw you were there. I want to go.
I was like so proud of myself. I was like, everything I did, I was like, I can't wait to tell Danny this. I know he's done this thing. Oh my God, we have to go. No, you and I have to go.
Okay.
It is an experience. It is so cool. It makes me believe a little bit more than I was believing. It's like you're there and you're like, this is very possible. But hands down, one of the coolest places I've been to.
Oh, I have to go. I never went.
So cool. So trippy and cool and like, yes, awesome. But one thing I wanted to talk to you about, I had seen a TikTok video that you did about the movie Sounds of Freedom.
Yes.
And I went and saw the movie Sounds of Freedom.
Did you see it?
I saw it.
I'm a very emotional person. I don't know if I could see it.
Now, the thing is... myself as well. The thing is, it is PG-13.
Okay.
So we're not actually seeing, thank God.
Thank God, yeah.
But just alluding to what really happened to some of these children and the story, I think you would absolutely love it because there's a lot of detective work and there's a lot of stuff in detective work. You should definitely see it. But guys, our audience, please go check it out. Go see it. The budget for the movie, I mean, they'll just tell you everything about it, how this actually really came about, and it's really not about money. They're giving away some tickets for free for people just to, build some awareness about sex trafficking and child trafficking. Can I say that on this network, or are they going to ban me? This is not TikTok. S trafficking.
It's not TikTok.
Okay. So, yeah, just guys, go see it. It was so impactful, and not just because we're into crime and stuff like that, but it was just so impactful and so wild how this stuff really happens. Let me start. Can I tell you like a little part about it first before we have to break?
Yep.
So now I'm a little bit upset. You know what I do for a living. Background psychology, talent agent for decades and decades and decades. I'm watching the movie, and the very beginning of the movie, there's a talent agent, middle-aged woman, and she gets all these kids together.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So I'm like, oh my God, I went and have to promote this movie because I feel so passionately about it, but it's making my occupation look terrible. So no, it is. So it does say a lot about people in the talent industry.
Right.
That
would kind of make sense too.
Yeah, but
right?
But this woman, I don't want to tell you the whole thing, but this woman took all these kids, literally told these people, like, be back at 7:00.
Right.
Drop your kids, you're safe. She's, whatever. And they come back at 7:00, the kids are gone. Yeah. So that's how the movie starts. And then you just need to check it out. It was just so insane. But I'm thinking to myself, like, this is so bad for business for me.
You know what, Don? And the one thing that I don't like about it, everything in our country anymore is political.
Yeah.
They're making this movie political. It's not political. It's about our children. And people are taking sides. Democrats are saying it's a conspiracy.
Yeah.
Republicans, of course, are saying it's the greatest movie since sliced bread.
Yeah.
But I think we shouldn't make this political. I think we should. It is what it is. This is happening.
It is
100%.
If you read the numbers and the statistics, because right after, I got all up in it. I was like, I need to do my research. I was up for hours just doing my own research, and it's worse than the drug pandemic that we have in this entire planet. It is worse than any kind of just basic kidnapping. Worse than domestic violence. The numbers are worse than cancer.
Right.
And we're not we're just sweeping it under the carpet. Missing children. Our children are being sold. Is that insane?
Crazy.
It's crazy. When I watched the movie, I'm like, this is so true. We're selling kids.
It's crazy.
Where does God, humanity, any of this fall into it? It doesn't. So it's so much bigger, guys. So my message to you is yeah, we have so much to worry about in this country, but let's start with the children. Let's seriously start with the kids, because I saw how heartbroken you were just on the thought, and I was like, oh man, you almost had tears in you did have tears.
I did, of course.
It is so heartbreaking, but I want you to go see it because I think the whole detective part of it and the whole, it's really right up your alley. It's one of those where,
right,
yeah.
And I think everybody needs to go to an open mind. I mean, a lot of CNN's coming out and saying it's all political. Yeah. Don't watch it. It's all BS. Yeah. It's all this. We can't politicize everything in this country. Right. We separate each other at both sides. We got to get together. Right. And our kids? We're not going to get together on our kids? I mean, come on.
Well, that's the
time to unite,
thing.
Folks. It's time to unite.
That is such a thing, this country and its division and this and that. It's just all side-blinding us to really, truly what's going on, because it's not about race or gender or nationality or the language they speak. These are our children.
This is our kids.
In the United States.
Yeah.
So it needs to. This is our message. I know we have to take a commercial break, and we just got deep quick. But Danny Miner, Dawn Sullivan, no meds. We'll be right back.
Traditional TV is going away. Hollywood is starting to fade. People are demanding real stories from real people. Our voices are now being heard in our own way. Podcasts, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok Live are becoming the norm. Internet TV has now reached the highest demand in human history. Social media shows is now the new media of the century.
It's a tough market. We get it. Home inventory is at an all-time low. It's a seller's market, and cash buyers have the advantage. Recently, cash buyers made up more than a quarter of all home purchases. But we have the solution. New American Funding's Buyer Accepted program allows your buyers to compete with all cash offers by becoming cash buyers themselves. Here's how it works. Buyer Accepted LLC, an affiliated company of New American Funding, will purchase your buyer's new home with cash and sell it back to them for the original purchase price, plus a fee that can be added to the purchase of the home once they secure mortgage financing with New American Funding. The best part is that they don't need to sell their current home first. This is a true cash offer. Clients who use our Buyer Accepted program can secure financing using a conventional loan and even VA. Plus, there are no fees for agents and no sacrificing commissions. Buyer Accepted even offers a free 1-hour certification course that will make you the expert. You want to close more deals and help more clients? New American Funding's Buyer Accepted program is the answer.
I can already feel you judging me, and not for what I've done in the past, but for what I'm about to do. I had what mattered, and I got careless. I don't deserve more. I don't deserve sympathy. I don't deserve to be here.
Where the hell are you? aren't you answering your phone?
Jenna! What is the matter with you?
Someone once told me, you may not be everybody's cup of tea, but you're somebody's shot of whiskey.
Excuse me, ma'am. My car ran out of gas and I left my wallet at home. Could you please spare a couple dollars so I can refuel my vehicle?
I literally have nothing.
What's it gonna take to get you to join the program?
Get about a dog! If Jesus wanted you to have a dog, he would have blessed you with a bowl and a leash now, wouldn't he?
Good? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know we were back. Sorry. Listen, we didn't take our meds today. I'm sorry.
Dan Sullivan, don't even mind it. No meds.
Listen, we are here. Are you ready, folks? You ain't going to believe this. We have a ghost hunter here. A ghost hunter. You want to introduce yourself? Tell us what you do.
Hi, I'm Destiny Blacque. I do ghost hunting with two of my friends, and we have a little YouTube channel. It's called Halftime Ghost Hunters because we do it halftime.
Okay.
Yeah.
Halftime ghost hunter.
Halftime Ghost Hunters,
And it's you and who?
My two friends, Anna and Adriana.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Dawn, we have a real life ghost hunter.
I know. I'm excited.
So she's going to tell us real information. Like the last couple weeks, we're just talking about stuff we heard.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But this is real.
Yeah.
So how did you get into this?
So honestly, like I met my friends, we're all like co-workers, and like we all found like we would watch these two guys on YouTube, Sam and Colby, and then one day Anna was like, why don't we do it? And we're like, okay. Let's do it. And we just kind of we went to like different places. Like we went to, I want to say, it's like up Moapa, like kind of up there. That was like the first place we went to. It was a little sketchy, I'm not gonna lie. I was like, okay,
all right,
try not to die here. But then we started
like one of them like smaller towns, right?
Yeah, it's like a ghost town.
Okay.
Like 30, 45 minutes going like up the 95, like somewhere around there, yeah.
All right.
And we kind of were like, okay, let's like focus more on Vegas. So we've been to the Flamingo, we've been to the Luxor, we've been to Circus, we've been to, what's the other one? Excalibur. Like,
okay.
Yeah.
So let me ask. These are places that I have heard.
Yeah.
Have people who have passed away that are still there, and you really believe this. Like this is in your heart. You believe this.
Yeah. Like I wasn't like too like in the beginning. Like I didn't grow up like ghosts. You know.
Right.
Like, it's like okay, whatever. Like people say things, and like once I started doing it myself, I was like, okay, this is like kind of crazy.
Can you tell us about an experience in one of these hotels?
Oh my goodness.
Like, are you convinced there's ghosts?
I'm convinced. I'm convinced.
All right.
There's just been so many experiences. So let's start with like an easy one. When we first started, we went to Binion's, which is on Fremont.
I was going to say that.
We went to Binion's.
I was going to say that,
We went to Binion's. That was like one of the first ones we did. And like we have like these little, they're called cat balls because, you know, they're cat toys.
Okay.
So you turn them on and they blink. They light up. But you have to touch them in order for them to blink. So we're there for like 3 hours. We're not getting much. We're like, okay, whatever. Let's just go home. And my two friends, Anna and Adriana, they're a little crazy.
Okay.
They like to provoke the spirits and the ghosts. And I'm like, you guys got to chill. So Anna's, you know, they're throwing out the B words and like, you're not here, show yourself, yada, yada, yada. And we have 3 cat balls around the room. We have like one in the corner, one on the bed, and then one kind of by me. And they just start going off like one by one. And I'm freaking out. I'm holding the camera. I'm screaming my head off. And like, this is what we want. And I'm like, no, like this is scary. So like that was an intense one. And then we had one fun one. Well, it wasn't necessarily fun for me. They like to put me kind of as like the bait.
Okay.
They like to throw me in there. They're like, oh, go get in the closet. I'm like, no, I don't want to get in the closet. So I don't remember what hotel that was. I almost want to say it was Circus.
Okay.
So we get there. And we got that place for my dad. He was like, oh, yeah, like I've heard some stuff about Circus. Like it's creepy in there.
Right.
So we go to the front desk and the guy is like, we ask him like, oh, like, is this place like actually haunted? Like, you know, like we want to know. And he just stares at us dead in his face, goes, I can't talk about it.
Is that what he said?
Yeah. And we're like, oh, okay. And then he starts writing down like everything that happened in the hotel. He's like, oh, here, like you want to go here, you want to see that. So we tried to get the room where like there's this big Samoan guy who used to work there. I want to say he was security.
Okay.
And one night he went into this room and he got thrown up against the wall. Like, huge guy, like the force you have to do to throw someone that big up against the wall. So we're like, yeah, we're going to get this room. We're going to go in there. And we got the room next door because guests were in that room.
Okay. And
automatically, for some reason, the spirits really take to me. They really respond to me. They really like me. I'm like, y'all got to stay here. You know, we're only friends in the building.
Right.
So I have on like this jacket because I used to work at this place called The Basement, which was an escape room here in Vegas.
Oh, okay.
So my jacket says The Basement on it. And we have like our little phones out. They are the ones who usually do that. I'm recording and the phone says basement. And we're just looking at each other like, the basement? Like, we didn't hear anything about the basement in this hotel room. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Right. And I look down. I'm like, it's me.
Oh, my gosh.
Me. So they were pointing me out.
Oh, my gosh.
It was like, the basement. I'm the only one with something on that has to do with the basement.
Right.
So I'm a little spooked out.
Right. From what I heard, is it true that like, the more you believe, the more they'll come to you? It's like if you have that like belief, they'll show you.
Yeah, a lot of people are sensitive. Okay. There's like a certain word, I just can't remember it at the moment, but like, like they can feel it more than others. So my friend Adriana, she can feel it a lot more than me and Anna. But she's like, oh no, there's something here, like I don't feel good, like my stomach hurts, or like we've had incidences where like my neck hurts, my neck is burning, like something's up, and like we look it up, someone was choked in that room. Or someone was like hung or something like that. Like even at the Flamingo, we got called like strippers, which was pretty funny. I was like, I mean, if the ghost is gonna call me a stripper, I mean, I'll take it. But like the people at the time who were at the Flamingo, they're all mobsters, they're all pimps. That's what they went to the hotel for. So the guy, he's like, how much? Like, what do you want? Like, show me something. And we're like, what does this mean? And it all like starts to like slowly connect.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's insane.
So when you ask to do this, the casinos are okay with it, or you just don't?
Oh, we don't ask. We just show up. We just show up.
All right. That's crazy.
Yeah, like we pay for the room, we don't stay, but you know, it's like you get a cheap room like on a Wednesday, $60.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
it's whatever. Yeah.
What would you say? You say the Flamingo is the most haunted?
The Luxor.
Really?
The Luxor.
Wow.
We did a no. It was really bad on our part. We want to go back to try again. I'm a little on the fence about it.
All right.
So we usually went on Sundays because that was the only day I had off at the time were Sundays. So this Sunday just happened to be Easter. Don't go ghost hunting on Easter. Okay. So we went to the Luxor, and a lot of people say like the Luxor, you know, they've had lots of deaths there. Like,
that's what I heard.
It's like very deep, dark.
Didn't people die when they were making it too, or something like
a lot of construction workers passed away.
Yeah. So there's so many souls there.
So many. Like it's dark. Like when you go into the room, it's like icky. You can feel it instantly, whether you believe in it or not.
This is not paid programming.
Oh yeah, I know.
Don't go to the Luxor. She said it's icky. It's dark. I'm sorry, guys.
The energy.
I'm just kidding.
And so we get there. Like I'm a strong believer in my faith, so I'm like, you know what? It's fine. Like I'm covered. I don't need to worry about anything. And the thing with ghost hunting is when they say when you hear them talking about God or the Bible. Or anything religious, it's a demon. It's bad. Like it's bad news. Like usually if they're good spirits or they're like have good intentions, they don't really bring that up. They like to talk about themselves. But if it's anything other than that, they're like, God's not real. Like all that kind of crazy stuff. So we get there, we're setting up. I just don't feel good. I'm like, no, there's something off in this room. Like my stomach hurts. I'm shaking. I got like the ick. Like something's off.
Okay.
And so we start filming, we start going, and our equipment's just not working. And it's on batteries. And we're like, I just bought new batteries. Why is it not working? And so we have like the 2 metal rods, they're dowsing rods, and it's just being really negative. Like, is anyone here? Like, it'll say no, but it's moving, so obviously something's here.
Right.
So moving forward, it starts talking about the Bible. Like, any Bible it wants to. The Quran, like, the Hebrew Bible, like, just too much. And then all of a sudden it says stigmata.
Oh my gosh.
And we, at the moment, we didn't know what that was.
I know what it is.
Yeah, we're like, what does that mean? Like, what is stigmata? And stigmata, for people who don't know, it's like the scars of Jesus on the cross.
Yes.
And that's when I lost it. I was like, oh no, I'm not doing it. And it was like, get in the closet. It was telling me to get in the closet.
Never.
I was like, no.
You get in the closet.
Yes. And we're like,
are you kidding?
Why do you want me to get in the closet? It was like demon. I was like, oh my gosh. I said, you lost your mind. I said, I'm not doing it.
Right.
Destiny, what is the intrigue with this? Because it almost feels like it would be like bringing on some ill shit.
Yeah, no,
it
yeah.
It's bringing me some icky shit. Like,
Yeah.
you said, the feeling of ick. I avoid that feeling like the plague. Like,
yeah.
is it just interesting to you to like, okay.
It's like, it's almost like an adrenaline rush, like riding a roller coaster.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, is something really here?
And then something to believe in.
Yeah, it's like, ooh, like, let's dabble more. Like, you want to go down the rabbit hole, but it's so dangerous. It's such a dangerous thing to do.
Why is it dangerous? Because they can actually stay with you. Is that that's the true statement?
Oh, God.
Yep. They can follow you home. They can attach themselves to you. They can
So aren't
do
you
anything.
petrified of that? If you're in a hotel and you're like, hey, come talk to me. And you're like, when you're leaving, you're like, no, you stay. How do you separate if they're going to stay or going to go with you? Like,
I plead the blood of Jesus. like I'm the only one in my friend group who's like super religious, so like I'll do it for all of us. And like you really have to be firm. Like you have to stay here. You cannot follow me home. And like some people like, oh please. I'm like, nah, we're not saying please. Like you're gonna listen to me. Like you're staying here. Like, and that's how I feel like they don't want to be connected to me. Like, because they attach themselves to fear.
Right.
They like fear. So if you're scared, they're gonna go bother you. I mean, I have my moments when I'm a little freaked out.
Right.
But I mean, I'll buck up with a ghost. Like,
I'll buck up with a ghost.
like you're not coming in my house. Like we're not doing that.
That needs to be a meme, right? I'll buck up with a ghost. I love it.
Like yeah, like if you're going ghost hunting and like the start of what they say is like if you have pain in your back, they're trying to attach themselves to you.
Wow.
So if you have lower back pain, that's them trying to attach themselves to you, which has happened to me before. At my friend's house. I was like, girl, I gotta step outside. I was like, there's something in this house. And like instantly I walked in the house, instant lower back pain, like excruciating. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, I just drove here. Like, I'm fine. Like, I don't get it. And she's like, oh yeah, this is Adriana's house. She's like, oh yeah, we have a friend here. I'm like, girl, a friend? A friend? This is not friendly. And I had to walk outside and I started praying. I was like, no, like this is not happening. Like pain, like giving birth pain. Like
my gosh.
I felt like my back was about to break.
So if you walk into an environment, now I know
Yeah.
you, we know each other
Yeah,
personally, but I intentionally said to her, do not tell me anything about your crazy weird ghost stuff yet until we do this show together. So this is the first time I'm doing this because I wanted this to be authentic.
Right.
My mind is a little bit blown, but it does make sense to your personality now. But when you walk into a place, can you automatically feel it? Like you'll know like something's not right.
It's almost like that gut feeling.
Yeah.
It's like a fight or a flight.
And it's an energy.
It's an energy. Like, you know how you can read people like, oh, your energy's a little off?
Yeah.
It's the same thing in the building. Like, if you know you're going somewhere that has had a past of things that are not, good, sincere, and the light, you can feel it off the bat.
Yeah.
And that's why I like to go with my two friends, because if I don't feel it, I know one of them will feel it. Yeah. So, like, we kind of bounce off each other. Like, Anna's the crazy one. Adriana's like, let's get the footage. Like, go in the closet. And I'm the same one. Like, no, I'm leaving. Like, y'all can get the footage.
I got a good story for you both. Okay?
Yes, let's hear it.
And it's about a prison. And this is a true story. It was on Unsolved Mysteries. So if you want to Google this, you could go on Unsolved Mysteries.
Unsolved Mysteries, I just have to say, is like the OG of crime.
Yes.
I remember when we were like 10, it's Unsolved. That was the scariest music they could use for everything. But that's like OG crime show.
And that's basically, it's one of the older episodes. Yeah. This one was called, and when you brought up like demons and stuff, that's why I'm bringing this up to you. My girlfriend actually did an internship with the Stroudsburg Police Department in Pennsylvania. Okay. Okay, so she knows these guys personally. They told her this story, and then one day we are watching an old Unsolved Mysteries, and she's like, oh my God, they told me about these guys, right? Basically what happened was they arrested this guy, put him in prison, and he would make it rain in his cell. They called him Rain Man. He would sit in his cell and water would come down on him. I'm not kidding you. And they interviewed like wardens and stuff. They said they were deathly afraid of this guy. Like he had cellmates that wouldn't be in the room with him. He was mad at the warden one day and he made it rain on the warden.
It's crazy.
Google this. He's called Rain Man. I'm not kidding you. And And he's still alive today. It stopped. Whatever it is was possessing him or whatever has stopped. But he actually, this is a true story. I'm not kidding you. Go on, look up Unsolved Mysteries Rain Man.
I love when you tell me these stories because you think, because of my psychological background, that I'm like, oh man, he's
Listen, Dawn knows I'm a little crazy, right? I'm a little crazy, I think, so you're not sure sometimes, right?
I'm with you on that. No, that makes sense. Rain Man, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
But she actually knows these guys that dealt with him. Like the warden, the cops that arrested him. They said this is absolutely true.
That's crazy.
He actually made it rain in his house.
Yeah.
He actually, when he was home, his family would say it would rain on him. Rain would come from the ceilings. Like, I don't know why water was involved in this, but for some reason water was involved. But it's insane. But I truly believe a lot of these things.
I 100%.
And I never had anything happen with me.
100% believe.
Nothing. Did anything ever happen? Nothing's ever happened.
I don't want to call them ghosts. They're souls to me, but like things through my parents coming back. Like I've literally, there's fact that I've had people from the past that are deceased now come back to me and communicate with me. 100%, yeah. So I am a firm believer that they're there. I'm just afraid to take that step that you've taken, and like, if I would know you, that's the thing. What if one came home with you?
I don't know.
That's why I don't bring people.
I would take the risk.
You'd have a good friend doing TikToks with you. Like, he's right here behind me.
That would really, my TikTok would explode. I'd go from 180 to 280,000, probably. No, I think it's great, and you should do TikTok.
I know I used to. It's just as a little joke, but not seriously. Yeah.
You should do it serious.
Yeah.
If you can add that, this is what I always say about TikTok. If you have like a hobby and you enjoy it, people will get that enthusiasm with you and start following you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I think ghost hunting is huge. I mean, I would follow you in a second. You know what I mean? So that's something you should probably do.
Yeah,
use your hobby, make some money off it.
Hey, right?
You know? Yeah, I definitely follow you.
I flipped through some of the ghost hunting stuff, and that stuff is real. It's some of it like you can't make it up. And I know today's, you can
You're
do all
worried
these
about
things
it.
with the phone or whatever.
Yeah.
But no, some of this stuff, it is real. It's like, whoa. But my thing is, why would you stay there? What? It's like putting yourself in like the most dangerous situation possible, and you don't know the outcome.
Yeah,
Right.
100%.
No?
Yeah, no, I have a crazy story because
ahead.
you know a little bit about my family and the heart issues that we have.
Yes.
So we actually went to Lake Mead.
Yeah.
And that's when like all the bodies were, all that stuff, and we're like using our little devices, and it says my sister's name. And my sister's not with us. Like, my sister's like, oh, you're crazy. Like, why would I do that? So she's at the house. I'm like, oh, yeah, we're going to go Lake Mead. We're in the middle of nowhere. And it says Alexis. And we're like, oh, that's weird. And then it says heart attack. And we're like, what? And I'm just like, that makes no sense. Like, usually when they're talking and stuff like that, like, there's
So let
stuff
me ask you a
around us.
question. When you're saying they're talking, how are they doing this?
Okay, I have a little device.
Oh, Jesus.
My little friend. It's literally just a radio. They call it a spirit
I
box.
don't want to see that thing.
So I took the batteries out because when I bring it in my house, I don't want it to turn on by itself. So I always keep the
If that turns on right now, I'm out.
I always keep the batteries off. The batteries don't go in the house. So I always
I've dealt
keep
with
it.
one of them before.
Yeah, so basically
You ask it questions, right?
Yeah, you ask it questions and you flip through the radio stations really fast, and then that's how you can hear words and like.
So you actually heard Alexis. You actually heard a heart attack out of that device.
Yeah.
And it's a ghost talking to you.
Yeah, it could be anything, but it's like Alexis heart attack, and then 3 months later we found out she has a heart murmur.
Oof.
So it's like, oh, was that like a warning or like what's going on?
That almost sounds like a positive. Like
it's like
hey, heads up.
Right. So it's just like you never know like their intentions, but this little thing has been a little scary. But the one scary one that I don't really use, they're called the dowsing rods. I brought them today.
I know. I
Yes,
did them too.
The rods, they're a little bent because they've been through some trials and tribulations. But basically how these work is when basically spirits and energy, they need energy to move things and energy. So they're like, drain the battery, drain the phone, like take what you need, take the light source. But you never say like take it from yourself because they will drain you. Like you can be fine 1 minute and you're dead tired the next. So
they literally can take your energy.
Wow.
So with these, it's a yes or a no.
Okay.
And then you just you have to you hold them like this.
Okay.
Because if you hold them this way, you can kind of control where they go.
I understand, yeah.
So when you go like this, it's like outwards for no, and then inwards for yes. So
did you just do that?
Yeah, I did that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's
okay,
that was me. But usually
point.
how it goes, it's like, oh, is anyone here? It takes a couple times and they'll cross on their own. Or they'll be like, where are you in the room? And they like to follow me. So say I'm over there in the corner, they'll point to me in the corner. That happened at the circus. So the little thing that was like, oh, your basement jacket, it was following me around the room the entire night.
Now, sometimes do you know, like, if they're adults, if they're children, like, can you get a vibe on, like, what kind of spirit? If they're male, female, something else?
You can usually tell if it's a male, it's a heavier presence. It's like, okay. And they're a little meaner. They don't like you being there. Like, why are you here? Okay. Like, the females are like, oh, like, help me, pray for me, yada, yada, yada. They're very, like, understanding. But with the children is where it gets a little dangerous.
Why? Because
demons like to disguise themselves as kids.
Oof.
So they will be like, oh, there's a little girl in the hallway and there's a little girl here. I'm like, is it really a little girl? Because they will disguise themselves as that. Like, there's
you let the guard down, it's a small child. You let your guard down and it's not a child.
Exactly. That's what they want. Like, oh, I'm going to play it up. Even like when we're speaking through it, like me and Adriana lost our moms like 3 weeks within each other. So she's like, oh, it's my mom. I'm like, girl.
Right.
That ain't my mama. Because, they will disguise themselves as anything. Like, oh.
Ooh, I don't like that.
Anything. They will say you are a relative, your mom, your dad, your cousin. Oh, this is me. Children, to let your guard down. You let your guard down, they're in. Yeah. And that's what they want. So you really do.
They want you to trust them.
Because, I mean, if it's, oh, it's my mom, you can come home with me.
Right.
If it's a little girl, like, oh, whatever. Like, now, I don't have to set boundaries.
Like to stay in places that they've passed? Is that true, or just do they like to stay in places that they died?
It depends on the circumstances. Some spirits do like to stay where they are. It's their home. Yeah. It's what they're familiar with. This is where they live their life. But others like to go with you. Right. They're like, oh, I don't want to be here anymore. I'm going to go here. And like in like the ghost hunting world and like the spirits, there's a big belief that there's portals. So the Conjuring House is a huge place where tons of things have happened. They consider that a portal. And it kind of goes more into like, okay, well, like the x-axis and the y-axis and the time zones, like they have it really like constructed out. And like I do think like spirits can go like one place from another, but it's along with someone. Like I don't think they can do it on their own.
They need somebody to
you have to have so much energy and power to even move things. It takes a lot. Yeah. So it's crazy.
That is so
it's insane.
So now we have a couple of questions to ask you.
Yes.
Because Danny and I, for the last couple of weeks, have been talking about
UFOs
and space and aliens. And what is your belief?
I don't know. Do I feel like there are things outside of Earth? Possibly, but I feel like it'd have to be something like I have to see it in order to believe it. Same thing with the ghost. It's like I didn't really care for it until I was actually doing it. But I feel like there's definitely a possibility.
Yeah, I definitely do too.
Because it is becoming normalized now. Like Danny has enlightened me on a lot where they're actually staying. Right, where we know pretty much where they're staying, and that some huge government reps have been saying they're here, they're with us, they live amongst us. What do you think about that? Do you think that they live amongst us?
Probably. If they, if it was a real thing, I wouldn't be surprised.
I got one that's gonna shock Dawn, because I always come up with these UFO things that Dawn's like, where did he come up with this? Remember we talked about the whistleblower that was on News Nation?
Yes.
Talked about he was with the Air Force and he had clearance hired in our Congress, and he comes out and says we have these crafts, we have everything. Well, the Australian reporter that interviewed him, he came out yesterday, he was on a podcast, and they said, well, if we have these 12 crafts, because he said we actually have 12 crafts that we have that crashed or landed, that we have in our custody, in U.S. custody, right? Wait till you hear this one. This is what the guy said, the Australian guy. The one guy said, well, why won't they just hide these things on us? And this is what the guy said. One of the crafts is so big that they can't hide it. Wow. And are you ready for this? You're going to think I'm really crazy. They built a building over it so we can't see it. That's what he said. They built a building. And now people are saying on TikTok that it was in Korea. It crashed in Korea, and they built a building over it because they couldn't disguise it. It was that big. Now, the Phoenix Lights, you remember the Phoenix Lights?
Yes.
That craft, they said, was the size of 2 football fields. That's what people think about. It. That's 100 yards of football field.
Yeah.
That's 200 yards. My friend that I used to work with, he actually seen the Phoenix Lights. He's seen it. Yeah, he said he said it flew right up. They were camping and it flew right over top of them. That's what he said. He said 100% it was huge.
So now, Destiny, we were talking last week about how there's so many of these things are coming out, and it's being normalized now because online we can't protect it anymore. Years ago, when we had no internet, way before you, when we had no internet, we had to read things in the newspapers or see them on television. And if something was going on in New York, you didn't know about it in LA. And if something was going on in Wisconsin, you had no clue in New Jersey. It just wasn't. Now we know about everything and how it's happening so quick. So we were discussing last week. This stuff is becoming more normalized, and I think the government is letting it out in small little dribs and drabs to really get us. You know, I in the beginning I was like, okay, Danny, really, what is going on with you? I was like, not certifiable, but you know, there's stuff. But I'm starting to believe myself because they're normalizing it. They're letting stuff out. They're not blocking and deleting. Remember how much they used to block and delete from TikTok?
Yes.
If they did not want you to know something, it would be there, gone.
Yes.
Instagram, there, gone. Even Facebook in the very beginning. If you said something that the government was like, nope, they were able to take it away.
TikTok definitely lowered a little bit. They used to be real strict.
Yes.
I mean, my videos would come down for a word I said. I mean, it was crazy.
Like, hello, Danny Minerby.
Honestly.
People say something.
Yeah, people would report my videos and they would be taken down. And I agree with you. It kind of stopped now.
Yeah.
It kind of stopped now. And honestly, I'm starting to believe this is a different dimension. I know you guys are you can think I'm crazy, but that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking these UFOs are here. I don't think they're coming from outer space. I think they're here. That's what I think.
You have to elaborate on that. So they're not coming from, they're here. So we created them?
I'm going to tell you, listen. They changed. We used to call it UFOs.
Yes.
Then they called them UAPs.
Okay.
Okay? Unidentified aerial phenomenons or whatever. Now they changed the name again. And I forget what they changed it to, but something with water because they believe these crafts are coming from the ocean. They believe they live in our oceans. I'm not kidding you.
So, you know,
you got to realize these oceans our land is only 30% or what is it? Am I right?
Yeah.
So you got 70% of the world is water. How the heck do we know what's out there? Right?
So they're coming from
the ocean. Or is that where they came from another planet and made their home in the ocean? That's what they're saying. They've seen these crafts go in the ocean. I'm not kidding you.
Danny,
I know you think I'm crazy.
I don't. I'm starting to believe you a little bit.
All right.
I had to open my mind with the ghost hunter. I went to Area 15, but now they're coming from the ocean.
They're coming from the ocean.
From the ocean.
And a craft so big, we had to build a building over it.
Do you know how much fact checking I do because of you? I am like you now, fact checker. I'm like, I just have to see. Everything you say resonates with me. I have to see. And most of the time you're right. I'm like, oh, I could see. I see where he's going with this. But I've never heard that. So they're
Listen, people think I'm nuts online too. Once in a while, I do crime on TikTok, but once in a while, I'll do a UFO story. The one I was having, it was a down week on TikTok. I wasn't getting a lot of views, so I did a UFO one where I spun around in a couple circles and said they're out there, and I did all this stuff, and I got almost 800,000 views on it, okay? But people started calling me crazy. They're like, what is wrong with you? They're calling me all kind of names. But you know what? When it comes out, I'm not going to be the crazy one. I mean, why would the government say this, right?
Right. No, they're letting us know.
They
There's a reason. It's
yes.
methodical. Everything the United States government does, it's methodical. It's for a reason. So yes, I believe that part. What's my almost fear with it is what's coming next though. They're going to drop some sort of a ball and they're going to be like, boom, this is it. And I hope you're right. And as long as we're safe and these guys, these alien whatevers aren't out to really just kill my vibe.
Do they pay taxes too?
You guys
want to pay taxes to kill my vibe.
You guys want to freak yourselves out? Go to the CIA's website. Now don't get nervous. You could go there and you could Google stuff and stuff that is not classified.
Okay.
You could see it. And I'm telling you, Google UFOs. It'll come up on the CIA. And there's other crazy stuff where they say that we can talk to each other without talking. There's all kind of stuff
that's
on that CIA website.
Because I believe in that. Tell me about we can talk to each other without talking
to each other. There's all kind of stuff. And they're telling you that.
I have that. I can talk to people without talking to them. It's a
Just
face.
go to the CIA website.
Yeah, I got it.
They've investigated all of this. They've used all of this. I'm telling you, it's out there. People just don't Google it. You could go on the CIA website. You could put Bigfoot in there. See if they investigated Bigfoot or anything. It's all on there. As long as it's not classified. I've done it. I'm sure. Listen, every time I do this, I go on the CIA website and my girlfriend's like, you're on a list, right? They're like, they're like, the FBI has your picture up there. This guy's Googling crazy stuff on our website, right? And I'm like, I don't care. I gotta know the answers because there's something weird going on. There is.
I will tell you something was gonna freak me out if, like, out of nowhere, like, Danny got arrested for what? It's like, he's been a detective for years, like, legal citizen. What's going on? Like, what? No, that'll freak me out. Like, oh,
so man, Google searches.
He said too much. He looked too much. He was fact checking.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we live in Nevada, which is, Area 51's, right?
Right.
Air miles, it's probably a half hour from us. You know what I mean? Air miles. It takes you 2 hours if you drive, but air miles, it's probably less than a half hour. Okay? So we are in the UFO capital of the world.
Absolutely.
We really are.
Yeah.
Now, I don't even want to tell you another thing I heard. Another documentary.
I fact checked it all.
Oh, we're taking a break?
Oh, okay. We're coming back.
I got a story for you when we get back. There might be aliens living amongst us right here in Nevada. Got a story.
See you guys.
Hi, I'm Deacon T with Modern Word Ministries. It's great to be with you today. Just a short little promo for our show. Every Sunday morning we have service, and you can follow us at 10 a.m. Pacific time on modernwordministries.org. And if you missed us or you want to see some of our older messages, go ahead and check us out on socialmediashows.com every single morning at 9 a.m. It's a great way to kick off your day, get a little bit of the word in you, get something uplifting, get you started off on your way. If you're looking for prayer or you need some help, reach out to us. If you go to our website, again, that's modernwordministries.org, you can interact with me via telephone, via DM, text message, whatever you want. I'll get right back to you. So if you need prayer, you need help, you just need somebody to talk to, Modern Word Ministries is here for you. We are your church in the community. So until you see you next time, be blessed, everybody. Bye-bye.
Got Films is a full-service production company that provides motion picture quality content and production services for use in the film and TV industry. Looking for a seasoned crew, high-quality equipment, or other production services for your film, TV, commercial, corporate convention, sports, news, or interview project? Your search stops here. Some of our projects include NASCAR, American Restoration, Pawn Stars, Counting Cars, Top Chef, BattleBots, Forge and Fire, and Street Outlaws. We have also produced over 60 feature films and documentaries. We're ready for all your needs. Whatever your project, whatever your budget, big or small, Got Films got you. GotFilms.com.
This show is brought to you by Michelle Kubiak. If you want to buy or sell a home, call Michelle, 702-683-6576.
We're back, and I got a story, all right? Again, do not think I'm crazy. I'm just giving you the information. You decide for yourself if it's real. I watched a documentary on, well, first off, I hope my girlfriend's not watching because I just did a subscription to Gaia. It's all UFO documentaries 24/7. It's $12 a month. Don't tell her I did it because she's going to think I'm insane. She's going to cancel it. She's definitely going to cancel it. All right? So every night I watch UFO documentaries. Honestly, I do. And the one is a guy, he was stationed at Nellis, right here. Okay? Nellis, our Army base up there, right? Air Force base, I mean. And he swears to this, that there's aliens up there living amongst the troops.
See, I believe that.
He said they are living amongst the troops.
I would believe that.
Yeah.
Honest to God, that's what he says. Like, I watched this and I thought, this guy's nuts. But as he talked about it, he said, we knew about them. They had their own place. We visit them. I've talked to them. They're there. He said, I don't know what I
want. Did you know, like, this is a thing I want to know. Are they in the flesh? Do they look like us? Like, would we not know if we were in correspondence in a day with one of them? Like, is that, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Are they metal? You know what I mean? Like, that's it. Are they metal? Are they like, remember that old school show? Oh, God, I'm dating us really bad, Danny. My name is Vicky. She was a little machine.
No, I don't remember
My
that.
sister, it was like a little sister to a brother, but she was a little robot.
I don't remember that.
Oh my God, what was the name of that show? Oh man, the whole audience is like 10 people in their 50s. Like, I remember Small World.
Small World, okay,
Wonder.
yeah.
Small Wonder, Small World. She looked like a little human, but
Yeah.
she spoke like a robot. Like,
Yeah.
that's the thing for me, like, are they just like us and
Right.
we just don't know? Or are they metal? Like, what do they look like?
And if you think about, like, when we grew up, you're so much younger than us,
Mm-hmm.
right? When we grew up, like, UFO stories came from these crazy magazines called Star Magazine and the National Enquirer. So we never believed it because that's like fake magazines, like fake news, they used to say, right? And we would not, nobody talked about it on our news.
No,
you know what I mean? Nothing was talked about like that. So we talked about this last week. We believe that because of cameras, because of videos, ring cameras, they can't hide it anymore. That's the problem. They can't hide anymore. So they're like, we got to tell them.
They're getting exposed.
They say within the next 6 months, the government is going to... I mean, they basically did come out and tell us, but people don't care. I don't get it, but they basically told us it's real and nobody cares.
But you know, how is our life going to change? Like, we don't know. If we knew, let's say this has been happening, what did you say, about 80 years, right?
They said 80 years.
But about 80 years this is happening, they're living amongst us and stuff, and it hasn't really changed our lives now.
Right.
Is it, what does that look like for us? Is it all of a sudden going to be like, is it going to be, well, that would be nice to be racist about something else. It might be. Like, oh, your kid's not going to go to school with my alien kid.
Yeah.
And we
Could you imagine that?
Yeah. We can forget
like
about
big
the whole
differences. I mean,
race and gender. We can put that to the side for now, but your son's not going to the football, my alien son. That might be cool for a little while. So that might be positive on the government.
I just, it's very strange. I find it very interesting because I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, I might live through this time where they actually tell us there's other life. I mean, it'll be awesome. It really would. I mean, I hope it happens.
Yeah, I do.
I hope it happens. Just on the side note, because I don't want her to leave without talking about this. Yeah. Okay, we always get on aliens for some reason. But I'm sure every show we're going to talk about a little bit. But what about, we're talking about ghosts, getting back to what you did, okay? What about the movie The Exorcist? Do you ever, we all watch it. I know you're young, but I'm sure you watched it. Yes. It's like a classic movie. They're redoing it, which I don't like that they're redoing it.
I guess things get weird and lost when they redo it.
Yes. Yeah. But I don't know if you guys know this. That's a true story. Did you know that? Don, I swear to God it is. I know you probably think it's actually a true story.
Danny, half of this stuff I should put you on a 72-hour hold. It's like in my rights. I'm totally going against anything right now.
It's 100% true story.
Is it really?
If you go on Discovery Plus, there's a documentary on Discovery Plus of the real person, and it wasn't a female. It was a boy. Okay, so it wasn't a girl. It was a boy actually, and the same thing happened. Just off the top of my head, I believe it was in New York. I think it was like upstate New York where this happened. Just off the top of my, I think. Yeah. Okay, I'm not 100% positive on that, but it's a true story.
Yeah, that's insane.
I mean, do you believe possession?
Oh yeah, 100%.
All right. Yes, I mean that to me that is a little scary. I think I was telling you offline here that my girlfriend, once I put one on, she's like, get that off the TV. Don't bring that in this house.
What do you think? If somebody does get possessed, do they know they're possessed? Like,
I feel like they could know, but it starts off slow because people don't know if there's something following them.
Right.
But I feel like you're gonna once
gradually
you're gonna start feeling off. Like I don't like you're having these intrusive thoughts. Like why am I thinking like this crazy stuff? And then you black out, and some people are like, why would you do that? Like it can go into like escalations. Like the Pope's Exorcist, that movie that just came out, that was based off.
Is it good?
I want to see that.
I want to see it. Is it worth watching?
I thought it was the funniest thing ever. I laugh at stupid things.
Okay.
But it was
not a comedy, though.
It's not a comedy.
But did you like the movie?
I liked the movie.
Okay.
I mean, if the little boy
is Russell Crowe in that? Is that who's in that?
I know faces, not names.
Okay. He was the movie The Gladiator. I thought he played.
I think he's the
Pope.
Pope.
Yeah.
No, it's good because it's based off the true story of like don't quote me. I think it's like St. Paul, and like it's based off true stories, just like some of the Conjuring ones.
Yeah.
Like Ernie, that's a true story. Like I'll go back and listen to podcasts of like it actually happening. Like that kid Ernie, he's alive today, or not the kid, but like the one who was like, leave the kid alone, like put the devil and demon inside of me. He killed someone, went to jail. He's still alive today.
And what about them people that investigated that? What were them from the Amityville Horror? What's their Lorraine and
Lorraine and Ed.
Yeah, I can't think of their last name right off the top. Warren, that's it.
Do you know a lot about the Amityville Horror House?
A little bit, yeah.
That's on Long Island, New York. I've been there a couple of times.
Have you seen it?
Absolutely.
Oh,
I've been there a
man.
couple of times. They had the outside.
That's like a beautiful house too, right?
It was.
Yeah.
A beautiful house. It was painted red, the whole thing there, and people used to go by and look. It is eerie just being near there. I got to be honest. It was like, I'm not a scaredy cat by any means, but when it comes to certain things, it is just the ill feeling. It was in the height of all this stuff that I was there in the 90s. So it was in the height of all this stuff that was going on. I think the second couple had just moved out.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot has gone down. Somebody owns it today. I've got to do my research on it, but somebody owns it today, and I think they're supposedly just fine. Or they're just not talking about it.
Right. Would you move into a haunted house?
Hell no.
No. Accidentally.
No.
Listen, if it was cheap and my mortgage was low, I could say
No.
I would. I swear to God, if it was cheap, I think
No, they like to play tricks on you. They're slamming doors, scratching things, turning on lights. Like,
See, I'm about my peace. I could. No, every night I'd be like, "What's up?"
Right.
Like, we have an office down inside. You've been to my office over there, and in the office, in the studio, we have a ghost. Her name is Emma, and I'm not kidding. She's never felt.
I've
her
never
before,
felt Emma,
but I know Emma's around. I know she's. It's when I'm alone that she's there. And it's not my mind. Like she taps me, she locks the bathroom door, so it's hard to get in and out. Doesn't happen during the day when people are there. When I'm there alone, this happens all the time. So she's there and she plays funny stuff. Now I let her in and out. When I come in, I'm like, "Come on, Emma," and I'm very sweet, just in case she decides to flip the script on we don't get along anymore. So I'm nice. So things like that I do believe, but I get a little freaked out. Like I don't want you coming home with me. I don't want you don't go near my car.
Right.
Like, that freaks me out because I also feel energies like. I could feel someone's energy. I know if someone has icky, yucky energy. I'm like,
I get that too. I get that too.
I know it.
Yeah.
I know it. Yeah.
I could feel if the person is dangerous.
Yes.
Honestly, I get that feeling. I don't know why.
Because of crime.
I
know. Almost. You ever have the eye contact thing too when you make eye contact with someone and you're like, "Oh, that wasn't right."
Yeah.
I'll do it. I went to Hell's Kitchen this weekend. I'm not kidding. I did it with the waiter. I was like, "Oh, his intentions are not."
Yeah.
I didn't want to tell you what I thought of them, but like, I can read it like that with people. Yeah.
That's crazy.
And you know what? I just did, it's funny, I just did a video on TikTok about active shooting, okay? Because I used to teach that. And the number one thing I always say is trust your instincts. Because if we all get that like, you're saying it like you're like, man, that doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
You start feeling it all in your body. Nothing's happened, you just feel it.
Yep.
And that's definitely happened to me. I'm sure it's happened to you. And I always say it happens to women more. I think women have more of an instinct than
I
that.
believe that.
I really do.
So can I ask you guys, do you guys think that's God? Because I think that's God.
Yeah.
It could be,
I think that's 100% God. Like, I will find myself in a situation like, ooh, I'm going to stay away from that right now because that's not good. And then it'll prove to me, like, thank goodness I didn't go near that.
Right.
And I believe that's God always looking out for us. And if you hear it and you listen to it,
Yes. You gotta trust your instincts.
Oh, yeah.
And they did studies on this. Honestly, they did a study on this. Your instincts, 90% of the time, you're right.
I know.
Yeah.
90%. That's crazy.
Isn't it so weird?
Crazy. So this is what I always say. Follow them instincts because if they give you odds on the Vegas Strip, 90%, I wouldn't work. I would just gamble for a living. That's great odds. 90% is great odds, folks. Stay with your instincts. Something doesn't feel right, it's not right. It's not right, and you got to, especially with crime. That's the thing. Doesn't feel right.
We haven't done this in a while, and we have a couple of minutes. So can you tell some tips to the women out there? Because I've been watching a lot of TikTok, and the women, there's a lot of stuff going on with sex trafficking and kids, and in Walmart, they're doing something weird now, like they're cornering the Walmarts. I don't want to get too into it. There was like 2 men here, 2 men here, and this woman went in with her 2 little ones, had one in the cart and one in the hand, automatically felt something ill, and she was watching these guys, and they were just all corners. Can you give the women out there and young ladies and stuff some tips on how to protect themselves and when we're walking with babies?
Right. Here's the thing. This is what I always say. You need to scan wherever you're going to. When I say scan, and a lot of people are like, oh, I got to think of this. No, if you start doing it, it'll just come natural to you. When I walk into a parking lot, I scan the parking lot. I do. Like, I'll scan, I'll see if there's any potential danger. You shouldn't be on your phone And we do this.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't be like this, because I'm telling you, criminals look for that. They look for that. They look for you not paying attention. So you got to scan the area where you're walking to. The other thing I do, Dawn, and it might sound crazy, but if I go in a restaurant, I never have my back to the door.
Oh, me neither.
Ever.
I've got to see everything.
I got to see what's going on. Now listen, is that going to give you 1 or 2 seconds? Yeah, but that 1 or 2 seconds might save your life.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people are saying, oh, what's that going to do for you? Well, I can at least see the potential danger and something could happen. But my biggest thing is, pay attention. People don't pay attention. They just don't see what's going on around them. And, you know, especially, I walk the Las Vegas Strip, okay? Yeah. I go to the Strip a lot. I'm one of these locals that I do go to the Strip a lot, right? And you know what? When I walk, there's potential danger all over that Strip. Yep. All over it. No matter how much our officials here in Las Vegas tell you it's safe, it's not safe. Okay? You got to watch yourself. So my biggest thing, if I'm going to give a tip to anybody, it's be aware of your surroundings. It's the most thing. You got to just watch where you're going. And here's the thing what they're doing to women. They're putting notes or something on their car.
So they get out, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And they get out of their car. They're like, oh, they get in the car. Like, oh, what's that? When they go, you're not paying attention. That's when they do it.
Yeah.
Okay? And here's another thing that I'm going to give you a tip. Okay? If for some reason you are kidnapped, somebody puts a gun to your side and says to you, move over, drive your car, take your work. They are not taking you to a good place. That you are not going to survive that. Your only chance of surviving that is right then and there. Lay on the ground, scream, yell. And if they got you in the car, this is going to sound crazy. You hit the first car you see.
Yeah.
You can apologize later. Hit parked cars. You got to draw attention to yourself.
Because that's one thing they don't want us to do, because they wouldn't be trying to get us out of there.
Exactly. So that's what they tell people.
Make a freaking scene. Go off.
They can't do what they want to do to you right there. So they're taking you to do that. You're not going to survive that.
Kill me right there anyway.
Yes.
So yeah.
You got to fight right then and there. So that would be my thing. Listen, just your surroundings. Pay attention. People don't pay attention. Yeah. That's the biggest thing. Yeah. That's what I always say. Trust your instincts. Just like ghost hunting everything. Trust your instincts.
She's also a little crimey too.
Oh, I love good crime.
Oh, the best podcast. She'll like rapid fire send me 15 of them, and I'm like, oh god, I got.
You should follow me on TikTok.
I love a good
Mine's
crime.
all true crime. All crime. That's all I got.
He gets into the nitty gritty of like this and that, and like. Sometimes I feel like you already know. Like the trial hasn't happened, and I'm like, oh, he's already proven. Like they should just play your TikTok during the trial. Like there you go. There's the evidence. Minor figured it out anyway.
The Idaho case is just like.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
Did you send me the podcast on the Idaho case? But I got some nitty gritties that I'm sure you know about on the Idaho case. The 4 that died in Idaho.
The college kids.
I think you sent me that one.
Yeah, I saw it on TV. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so I got some other information about that, and I agree with you 100%. Guilty. He's 100%.
Oh, yeah.
There's no other way. The
No
only thing that I was thinking in my head that might shock us in the future, and I don't know how much they've been cleared, is one of those roommates. That's the only other thing.
It's weird. It is weird.
But I highly doubt it. Yeah.
What they did was weird. Not calling the police for 10 hours. That's weird.
And then also, let me ask you, in the podcast, I don't know how true this is. You would know better than myself, but the one girl went out of her room and she was like, oh, I saw someone wearing black. And he said, don't worry, you'll be fine. And 8 hours later, you wonder about
it's
that?
Weird,
There's some dude, like, jacked up in my house. I'm going to figure it out. You know what I mean? Like, she went to sleep for 8 hours?
I know. It's weird.
That's just a little bit. And I'm not accusing anybody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to.
I know.
Yeah. All right, guys, we don't have much time left, but if you want to hear anything more about ghost hunting and all that kind of stuff, you can get Destiny. Tell them how they can get in touch with you.
Just my Instagram. It's Destiny Blacque on Instagram.
Okay, Destiny is also a model actor. She did come to New York. Yes. She will be on the Palm Show doing improv. There's a lot going on with Dream Tracks. I mean, we've got a ton of stuff going on. We're now getting hyped up to go to Los Angeles. She'll be there as well with me. So there's so much going on. If you want anything with acting, modeling, TV, commercial, film, and print, get in touch with me. Dawn Sullivan _. Again, Dawn Sullivan _ Guys, I promise you, Danny and myself are going to have a show to answer all your questions. I get so many questions on my DMs, and I feel bad. They want to ask us so much stuff. Guys, you can also call into the show. Next week, I have a challenge for you guys. Log in, call in, and then we'll answer some of your questions.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Let's do that. And we'll answer anything that you guys have. And then as far as crime, I think we're going to be back on it next week. I have a guest. You guys aren't going to want to miss this. It's one story that's 16 years old and a 36-year-old story of a missing child that possibly is still alive.
Okay.
So we have a young lady on next week at 12 noon on Tuesday.